And to Ty Couture's loved ones, I would like to say rest in peace, and may the universe bring peace to you and blessings and just serenity. And I want to say to everyone out there who has been touched and affected by his passing, that if you are experiencing things that are similar to what he experienced, if you are having mental struggles and you're distraught mentally, please reach out and seek help. There are hotlines, there are people who maybe you think that people wouldn't listen and that people wouldn't want to hear what you have to say because you may feel like you're a burden on people, on society, but you are not a burden. Please, you are not a burden. Speak up, speak out. If you want to email, there are plenty of anonymous hotlines, so that I'm going to put some in the description box. There are plenty of hotlines. Rest in life. You know, we always say to our loved ones and people who have passed, rest in peace. But I would like to say to you guys, rest in life. I know that it's turmoil when you have mental illnesses. I have them. I've talked about them openly on my channel. If you have any questions, you can please feel free to ask me. But rest in life. Give yourself some peace. Know that you deserve to have peace while you're living, not just after you go on to the next life. You deserve it now. You can have it now, but you need to speak up, because sometimes people don't know if you're suffering. And sometimes even when you are considered like the strong one, like a lot of people think, oh, it's just Tammy, oh, she's fine. Speak up and speak out, okay? You are strong. I am strong because I know my weaknesses. I know what my triggers are. I know when something is too much for me. I know when I'm in distress. I know when an episode is in place. I know that. Know when an episode is happening. Get to know yourself. Speak up. Speak out. Speak to someone. Talk about what's going on. It doesn't matter if you're white or black. Black people, we have illnesses. We have mental illnesses. We have things. It doesn't make you a weak person because you have a mental illness. Most mental illnesses are chemical imbalances. But you yourself have the will and the power to cope with it. Yes, the mental illnesses are there, and sometimes we can't, quote unquote, control them, but we can do something about it. And that doing something is coping and surviving. You can cope with mental illness. You can survive with mental illness in your life. I have been coping with mental illness, sometimes not so great. Sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I can do this. But you have to try. You have to put in the effort. You have to speak out. I use my YouTube channel to speak out. And sometimes I don't always trust people. And that's also an issue with people who have mental illnesses. The trust. Like for me, mistrust is like always at the top of my list. But that's why I mentioned the anonymous hotlines. And if you want to just, speak to someone else, like a third party, not your family, not your friends, but someone like a stranger. Sometimes it's easier to speak to a stranger than it is to speak to your loved ones, because you're like, oh, they have all these expectations and there's all this pressure on me, and, the expectations to be strong and be great and be, the first chocolate to be successful in my family and the first chocolate to the others. Sometimes it's too much, and sometimes you just don't want to let people down, as I said before, or also because you feel like you're a burden. No. Take care of you, because once you're gone from this life, you're gone from this life. Like, hear me. Hear what I'm saying to you. Do something. And do something is to use your voice. Okay? Sometimes we have voices in our head that tell us we're not good enough and we shouldn't say anything. Don't listen to that voice. Listen to the voice here. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You are worthy. You are worth this life. Ty Couture was worth this life. And I just don't want to speak on it too much, because I don't want to be disrespectful to his loved ones and to his passing. And for the people who are still here on this earth and in this life, in these human bodies, these human forms, and are struggling, know that you can do something. Know that your mental illness does not control you all the way. It affects our lives greatly, but we can do something about it. So please, I'm sending out love.